it's like any cult. It's going to draw people who are looking for something because they are lost, and they're drawn to something that supposedly has some philosophy that will give them the answers. And then once you enter, you're stuck. I mean, these people were all like zombies. I remember there was no emotion in their faces, no one was smiling. They were walking around, it was really bizarre. But, that's all I wanted to say, because I experienced it firsthand, way back when. And like I said, when I walked out of there, I just go, oh my gosh.
I know, it's just bizarre. I mean, really, it's like Tony said. I mean, you go into, you go to Holy Name Cathedral or something, or, church, and you go like, hey, listen, I want to find the Lord. I want to find Jesus.
And they embrace you with compassion and with, it's an uplifting feeling.
Yeah, they don't go like, well, okay, write me a check for $1,000 and then I'll show you to salvation.
I'll show you the way, exactly.
Laura in Utah. Where's she? Oh, there she is. Okay. Laura, you're on AM760. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jay.
Hi.
I was listening to your show on Scientology, and I was kind of going, well, wasn't this country founded on the freedom of religion, and people had the right to decide what religion that they wanted to do or be involved with?
Absolutely.
Okay. And we also have freedom of speech where anybody can say whatever they want
That's right.
to. But, the Pope was just here, right?
No, he's still here.
He's still here. I heard he was leaving. Anyway, I mean, tens of thousands of people left the Catholic Church because of what went on in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and he addressed that.
Okay. And so one person leaves Scientology, and that's a big deal?
No, I don't think it's a big deal, but I think it's a big deal when he is somebody who's high up in Scientology and then comes out of it and starts to talk about the things that go on. And I think that, yeah, no one's going to put a gun to your head or anybody else's head and go, you can't join Scientology and that Scientology ought to be outlawed. But you can make the same criticisms towards Scientology that you can towards the Catholic Church, that you can towards Judaism, that you can towards
any religion,
the LDS. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if you're going to have freedom of speech, you can't draw the line and say, okay, well, listen, you can talk about some religions, but you can't talk about other religions. And then people have a right to turn around and go, well, okay, I heard what you said, but I disagree with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's really important is people look for themselves. And I ran across their website, Scientology.org, and it seems very interesting.
Well, you should go try it out.
Well, people should just look for themselves. I think that's the most important thing that anybody can do.
I have looked.
Okay.
I lived in their backyard.
Okay. Did you study their books or anything else?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I've read Dianetics.
Okay.
So
it wasn't for you.
I lived in Clearwater, Florida. No, I'm just suspicious of any organization that would charge people money to find out about them, would engage in some of the practices that they've engaged in, which is trying to legally thwart their critics and lead people on. And I find it extremely hard to understand how anybody would want to be involved with a religion that was thought up by a science fiction writer.
Well, from my viewpoint, people change in life. They discover all sorts of things as they're living. And I'm sure that Mr. Hubbard looked at life and decided for himself what he really believed in.
Did he make money off of it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, yes, he did. I'm sorry, but he did.
Okay, well.
Is that what religion is all about, is about making money? Like, in other words, you're calling me from Utah. Where in Utah are you calling me from?
Salt Lake City.
Okay, I worked in Salt Lake City. Do you remember? Do you remember the old, it's gone now, but do you remember the old KKAT?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I did mornings there.
And sometimes I'm up in the morning, and sometimes I'm not. So I can't say I listen to you.
Okay, well that's okay. I don't care whether you listen. I don't care whether you listen to me or not. But the fact is, but here's the fact. The fact is that I had these myths about the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Uh-huh.
And then living there, I found good things about it, and I found bad things about it. First of all, Salt Lake City is one of my all-time favorite cities.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
Well, it's just a place full of nice people.
Right.
I think there's too much government. I think there's too much religious influence in the government.
Well, what are you going to have when you have a base of basically LDS people? Of course, in like Massachusetts, you have Catholics. You're going to have the same thing happening within Massachusetts that you have in Utah.
Well, I saw a lot of examples. I saw a lot of examples of where that stuff went overboard, like the ridiculous fight that the state got into and lost over trying to keep MTV off the cable system.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, I mean, come on.
I know.
You know, give me a large break. But listen, do you know where Tooele, Utah is?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to live there someday.
Well, you know, I'm pretty sure the property value is going down right now, so you could probably buy it. You know, buy something that you really wanted there.
There is no place I love more than the Salt Lake than the desert of Salt Lake.
Well, then you should probably move.
Well, I'm going to one of these days, but I can't do it now. But I'm going to one of these days. But anyway, to get back to what you were saying, everybody has freedom to join any organization that they want to. They can, but then again, too, you also have freedom to stand up and be critical of any organization that you want to too, and you can't eliminate one without eliminating the other.
Right, and people should really look for themselves. I really think that that's very important. And, you know, I've seen their books in the library. I've seen them selling them on the streets, you know. So you can pick up anything you want and read about it, and you can do that with any religion.
Well, you can go.
You can go visit them, too.
Yeah, sure, and ask how much it is to join, and they'll tell you.
You know, I'm sure they would.
I think that's a weird comparison. That the fact is that if I went to the Church of Latter-day Saints and asked them about joining, I don't think that they would tell me, well, we'll tell you about the religion when you give us $75,000 or $50,000.
But when you join the LDS faith, you give a 10% tithing for the rest of your life.
Well,
religion.
You do in a lot of churches.
Every religion has to be supported. I mean, they have buildings, they have lights, they have heating, they have things that they need to pay for, and people have the right to support or not support that religion.
But the difference is, okay, and I know because I've been through this there, the difference is that the Church of Latter-day Saints is not going to charge me a dime to find out about them. They're more than willing to give me the information. Scientology, you have to pay to get the information. There's a big difference there. There's a huge difference there.
Well, then why are there books sitting on the shelf in the library?
Because they should be in the library. Because books about every religion or every philosophical thought ought to be in the library. But that has nothing to do with letting you in on the insides of the working of the religion. I don't have to pay the LDS Church to find out about the inner workings. I know exactly what the inner workings of the LDS Church is.
But have you ever been inside the temple?
Yes.
You've been inside the temple and gone through all of their...
No, because they wouldn't allow me to. But I have toured it.
Those are their sacred privileges, don't you think? Don't you think every religion has a right to have privileges?
Yes, but I think that the difference would be, I think that the LDS Church, no, I don't think I know, that the LDS Church would furnish me with the information about how to get to that point and not charge me for it, where the Church of Scientology would charge you for it. And the LDS Church is not going to talk to me about Zeta and Xeons and all this other kind of science fiction stuff. They're going to talk to me about God and religion. And I think that if you want to convert people, which is the main mission of most religions with the exception of Judaism, and you want to get out there and you want to convert people, you don't sell them information, you give them information.
Well, I've seen information handed out from the Church of Scientology, walking down the street.
But they never give you the inside information. You have to pay for it in order to get it, whereas with the LDS Church or any form of Christianity or any form of Judaism or whatever, they won't charge you. They'll give it to you. That's the big difference. I got to go, Laura. I appreciate the call, and Salt Lake City's a marvelous town.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too. I really do like Salt Lake City.